Hello and welcome back to another installment of Poke Fodder. And before you do anything at all, do not play another game until you make sure that your account is, and not necessarily just your account, make sure your figures are the way that they are supposed to be. What ended up happening, and I've had a few people comment on this, but not nearly enough people have commented or made mention of this. But if you watched yesterday's video, I went through and looked at my Nihilego and noticed, oh, the one that I had used Carmonite on was reset to level 1. I had to go allocate my level 5 and then my level 10 with my Carmonite back into it. And I thought, well, it's a new figure, I had just done it, so that's probably the only one. But that is not the case. If we go and look, and I'm going to look at levels. If we go and look, and what I want you to do is go and look, sort your figures by level. We can see that my Nihilego we already know was taken care of. And here's where it gets really crazy and why you want to look at each and every one of your figures. Because if you look at my Mimikyu, that is what a level 10 Mimikyu should look like. That's how I remember my level 10 Mimikyu. And I've done that one relatively recently. My Cosmog, everything looks good there. Moving on, Noibat. Looks good, and I don't notice anything, maybe. Yeah, Noibat is supposed to have a miss. So everything is good with Noibat. Phantom, looks good. No complaints there. Grovyle, looks good. Trapinch, looks good. Charmeleon, I actually had to go and reset my Charmeleon. And I don't remember when I put Carmonite in it. It wasn't that long ago, but it wasn't in the last 2 weeks. Shuppet, no concerns there. DOA, it got reset. So what we're gonna have to do is we are gonna have to go add back in those to make it level 5. And then we are going to have to add those. Let's get rid of that slip and we will hit confirm. Right there. That is a figure that I didn't know was out of whack, but it was, and I don't remember how long ago it was that I adjusted this wheel, but it wasn't recently. So we go through, we look at Flygon, everything seems okay, and I think I've updated Flygon more recently than I have my DOA. My Oricorio looks good. Tapu Bulu looks good. Leo looked fine. When I looked at him yesterday, I noticed that it looked fine. Malmar, no problems. Druidigon looks good. Blaziken, for some reason, Blaziken got completely reset. And this is how I discovered it, actually, is I put Blaziken in a deck, and I noticed, I was like, wait a second, that's not right. And for those of you who ask, and I rarely run Blaziken, but people have asked me before, how did you level up your Blaziken? Here's how I did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, confirm, yes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. And then definitely gonna subtract from the mess. So now my Blaziken is back right with the world. Really bizarre. Zapdos is good. Entei is good. Zekrom is good. There was one other that I noticed. I wouldn't know if that one was right or not. Pangoro, Marini. So maybe it was just the DOA and the Blaziken. So go right now. Pause my video, go fix the wheels and check your figures. Anything that is over level 5, just double check them to make sure that the wheel is what you expect. And if you guys notice anything missing with chain levels, leave it in the comments below, because I'm definitely interested to find out what got changed. For anybody who is keeping record, I had my Naya Ligo, which is rock and poison type, I believe. My Deoxys attack form that you saw, which is psychic type. My Blaziken, which is fire and fighting. And then my Charmeleon, which is, I believe, just pure fire type, were the ones that I had that need to be reset. So let me know in the comments below, when you go through and look at your figures, let me know which ones you had to adjust. Now, what I want to do, and the way I discovered that is because this is the deck that I was running. When I noticed, I was like, wait a second, my Blaziken isn't quite right. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go find Blaziken. We're actually gonna drop him in here. And this is, by all accounts, a pretty strong deck. Like, I don't think anybody would argue and say, well, that's not really a strong deck. It's a pretty strong deck. And if you've watched Rico and then his response video to Showtime about AI, you don't need me to tell you what my thoughts are on Carlo. And in case you haven't played any of the single player game, Carlo is the AI. Carlo is brutal for me. But here is where Showtime and Rico differed. Showtime was running Carlo, or the AI, in gym matches, and he was using really strong figures, whereas Rico was using some tech pieces, some movement pieces, and less brute strength and more finesse type deck. And you know, so I think AI is junk. I'm not a big fan of the AI. I've said it before. In no uncertain terms have I said AI tickets are not a reward. They are a punishment for this game, for playing this game. But here's what we're going to do. The team event has started. I'm Team Flareon. I did go just random. And here's what we're going to do. I've put together what I think is a very strong deck with Deoxys attack form, Lunala, Leo, Blaziken, Coco, Sceptile. You're looking at a 138 attack there, a 70 which hits like a 140 there. With my Metal Sphere plate that I'm running, this is 110 and 140. This is 130 plus a 3-star benching move. Coco is Coco. And then I believe this hits for 146 if I land a double spin of Leaf Blade. What I'm going to do, and what I have been doing so far for this team event, is I've been burning AI tickets. A lot of people burn AI tickets in the gym. I'm just going to burn AI tickets in league play, and I'm going to do it during the team event and see how far that gets me in this world. We do have an opponent. Coco, Blaze, Zap, Leo, Vibrava, and Sceptile, all level 10s except for Leo, which is level 9. So very odd that I'm going to face up against a deck that is very, very strikingly similar to the one that I'm running. And you already know what we're doing. Right off the bat, we're going to pop a handful of AI tickets here. We'll take this up to 98. Now, one thing that the AI hasn't done, that at some point I may have to stop the AI and actually do one play by myself, is the AI does not trigger the Metal Sphere plate. I don't know why. I don't know if it's not programmed into the AI's memory banks or what have you. But typically I will have to go in and stop what's happening, stop the action, trigger the plate. Now I will wait until I feel like they're at a standstill or a stopping point to go ahead and do that. So far, I honestly don't have any complaints with the way that the AI is playing this. We are going against a 34-49 opponent by the name of Pixie. And he's going to go... Okay, I don't know what plates Pixie is running. Swap spot, double, max, goal block. And was that all of them? I believe there was one more in there hiding. And this game's not going to let me figure out what it was. So we're going to take our Blaziken. And that's not going to work. So we're going to need our 20 or we're going to need a white. And that's not going to work at all. Even with the double chance, it was no soup for you. Wonder if I'm still not going to get to look at his plates. This is... Okay. I don't know what my opponent's running. The game does not want me to look at my opponent's plates, so we will skip them. Tropical Energy. That only affects 2 of his figures, Subtile and Zapdos. Okay, it's an interesting play. He does have Swap Spot. I don't think I've ever seen the computer fall for Swap Spot cheese except for right here. The computer is going to fall for swaps. Oh no, because Coco. Wow, I was about to say because Coco is going to be a blocker right there. And so far, my Blaziken, with his newfound levels, has failed to perform mightily. Not good at all. But I have no real complaints about the way that the AI is playing, other than its Blaziken obviously did not come to play today. They have Fly, so... Okay, so now Fly is out of the picture. And he just rolls a miss. We get a good roll right there. Now, what is going to happen? He does not want to attack. I was very fortunate that Coco rolled gold because the AI left the goal wide open to a Fly attack. I guess the odds, the numbers, the calculations, the formulations said the odds of this happening are so small because I do have the counter of the gold or the blue that it felt a worthwhile risk to take there. I am surprised that the computer, which usually YOLOs... Oh, wow. That was a great roll. The AI, which is known for being kind of a wild man, the wild, wild west, everything goes, just press as hard as you can, is not really shown much sign of aggression outside of a couple of attacks with ill-fated attacks with Blaziken. So Coco is going to come down with a loss there, but that's okay. Coco did manage to survive the most important roll, and I don't agree with this attacking here. See, I would have re-rolled that and in hopes of getting the Moongeist Beam so that I don't get paralyzed on this next turn. My deck does not have... That was interesting. And that's going to most likely be good game. We're going to have the knockout or the blue here. Okay, so we get the blue. We are going to have a stay of execution for at least one more turn. My opponent's been really aggressive, so I would not be surprised just to see a straight attack by Zapdos. The other option would maybe be just taking over the entry point with Blaze. Not sure what the better option there would be. And he's going to go for the aggression. And unfortunately for me, he did not roll that 50 Steel Wing. That would have been great. Kind of a questionable move here. And once again, Blaziken is not up to the task of playing ball today. Whoa. that. That was okay. Well, I mean, either way, Blaziken was going to be toast. Okay. So the rumors of when you use the AI, it getting just exceptional rolls, I think we've debunked that rumor. I think we have completely proven that one as Mythbusters would say, false or dispelled. Holy smokes. Ooh. Very lucky there. I don't know if it's my turn or the computer's turn, but what I'm going to do is I think this is going to be a good time. Like I said, I don't know why the AI doesn't want to trigger that plate. But now we'll turn back on the AI. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they changed it. You used to not be able to trigger AI during your opponent's turn, and I just triggered AI during my opponent's turn. So at some point in time, they did go in and fix that. And now we are starting to get a couple of rolls. Let's see if we can't steamroll from here moving forward. Get a couple good rolls, had our backs against the wall, and if we can knock back a couple of rolls, dig out of being pinned on our back line, that was a fortunate roll. Then maybe this is the turning point where all of a sudden we get a couple rolls, we get that breakthrough roll that leads us into a victory and capping the goal. And as long as, okay. The AI has been known, I never take winning rolls for granted with the AI. They have been known to re-roll out of winning rolls, and I'm not sure why. I haven't figured out when it does it. It seems to be that it'll re-roll out of a winning roll when, say for example, you have your septile and the AI feels it wants position over the knockout. What I mean is, by re-rolling and getting stealth hit would put it in a more favorable position. I feel like that is when you will get those winning roll re-rolls. And in my opinion, once you win, just take the victory. Pardon me. There's no need to re-roll. And somebody is getting surrounded unless he gets knocked out. And that is going to be the knockout. He could just go for the double knockout here. I would probably leave a burn DOA alone. But let me see what the opponent wants to do here. The opponent does not want to leave. Well, okay. So I could see my opponent moving down into this corner with Subtile. It's going to put me in a tough situation, although he kind of has to address my Coco because my next Coco move is going to be threaten his goal. Now he can't surround my DOA because then he loses. Zapdos, he can't back up. Like he has to attack with Zapdos? I don't remember if he has Goal Block. He does, okay. Goal Block. And that's what's going to happen there. Interesting decision here that is going to pay off. Playing with fire there. One blue roll, and then you've put yourself in a must-win roll situation. Now, I've got chain levels over him, so it's going to be who spins more, and we both spend the same amount, which is going to be good for me. I personally would take my DOA and move it above Zapdos. The AI thinks that moving Leo to the inner lane was a better decision. Probably not, probably couldn't argue that one. They did set up the swap spot. That would have been really nice there if the opponent had fallen asleep. And he's just going to go after. This is actually for the win. If he gets the knockout here, and he's not, I probably would have just taken the slip there because that's going to cure my burn, and my Blaze has done nothing so far this game. Draco Meteor from Flygon is absolutely going to knock out my Leo. There are no rolls, nothing that I can roll that will survive Draco Meteor. All right, Blaze, you a 20 jet kick into a miss on Leo would be pretty smooth. That is going to be a nice victorious roll. You might see a swap spot here between Coco and Blaziken. Okay. And I think this is for a win. If he... doesn't matter. Blaziken did not come to play this game. This is a very long AI game as well. If Blaziken had won that, I'm pretty sure that would have been game over. Melee, melee, wish, hold your breath. The computer has been known to banish Pokemon from the duel. That's going to be it's a double win. We're both going to get sent out, and it's going to let me cycle through. I'm okay with that, especially with the huge time lead at this point. I'm okay with that. I have to say, there have been no moves that the AI has made this game that have really got me scratching my head. I have to say that, you know, there's been a couple that I personally would not have done, but I'm not running thousands of computations in my head instantaneously to come up with the best mathematical situation. And, you know, I wouldn't cover up both my entry points like that. I think that kind of limits you. Okay. That's going to be the win. And he didn't re-roll that, which you shouldn't, because it was the win. By rolling the 100, you were going to get sent to the PC, so that was actually a good play there. And, you know, other than just a couple of personal preference moves, I haven't seen anything. I have to say that this is... Maybe you have to run or need to run just extremely... You have to out-muscle your opponent when using the AI instead of trying to out-finesse them. Maybe that is the secret of how to get the most out of using your AI tickets. Okay. Yep, I have no qualms with that. That was a low risk, high reward proposition there. My only concern is Blaze is in a position where he could run straight down, and the Cyclone Kick on Blaze does worry me a little bit. Guess I should have been more worried about that Jet Kick. It's pretty crazy to see the stark contrast between my opponent's Blaziken and my Blaziken, where my opponent's Blaziken has pretty much been on point with most of its attacks. My Blaziken has been a wet noodle when it comes to attacks. And the flyaway is going to go down, which would have set up a surround, with the exception of he has nobody there to back up for the surround. A Draco Meteor from Flygon could be pretty kryptonite for my deck. I will say that when I built this deck out of strength, I wasn't taking into account Flygon. I would like to see more figures with Draco Meteor abilities. I have to say, one way to overcome power creep, and this is what I was worried about with Blaziken running free down the lane there. We did pull off the fortunate blue. But I do like those abilities of respinning. Hey, respinning, where it's, you know, Water Shuriken, where your opponent respins. If it lands purple, it gets knocked out. There's a couple of others where I'll let Dartrix, if they re-roll blue, they can get knocked out. Things of that nature. I do like those mechanics. The not Flygon, Draco Meteor, I like that mechanic because it can halt some of the power creep that you will see in games. My opponent's down to 31 seconds here. Sceptile has proven to be a very suitable goalie. I would attack Coco here. Okay. And the AI agrees with me. Melee Wish is going to send... It might have been worth it to Melee Wish there. With 27 seconds, if you can get your Sceptile or even your Leo, he's going to bring out... Okay. It might have been worth it to banish one figure for just that short amount of time to have the mobility. We'll see what happens here. Another Thunder Charge. My opponent Zapdos is good at rolling those. I do have the chain levels over his Sceptile. I don't know about the gold. Well, maybe he leveled up some of his gold. Let's see what happens here. We're going to go for the attack again, and my opponent's going to get Roost. No, so he did not do any of the 30. In fact, his 30 is even smaller than mine. I like it. Just keep banging on the front door there. Another Thunder Charge is going to go down. My opponent should move Flygon down towards my goal. That's going to... Okay, or that. I would think that you would need to backtrack a little bit with Blaziken there, but my opponent did not. That was a super, super fortunate roll. The 110 tied, but because it was Sunsteel Strike, I actually did get the knockout there. 130, I can cover his wheel, but I am going to get sent back, which is going to leave him with Flygon or Blaze into DOA to save his game. He is going to get the Flyaway, but we're going to re-roll that. He's going to get the Draco Meteor, which is bad news because there's a lot of white on DOA. Oh! Wait, what did my opponent do? Like, even if he had knocked him out, I was still going to win on the next turn. Misplay by my opponent there. Good game, Pixie. That would have been funny to see that happen because on the one hand, you'd have been excited you knocked out my goalie, but on the other side of that coin, you would have lost the game anyways. I said I was going to do two. This video is almost 30 minutes long. I picked up a rainbow booster, which you do want those rainbow boosters because they're going to pop open in 12 hours instead of 24 hours during the team event. You know, that we went over what the team event rewards were yesterday. They're kind of the same old, whereas the team event achievement awards, I've done 6 duels, 4 wins, booster ticket, uncommon medal, rare, another booster ticket, 2, or a rare cube. There's going to be 50 Carmonite. You're going to get 5 rare metal EXs total, the shiny Eevee, 4 EX ingots in total, and then the Cube EX at 2,000 points. Now, the event only lasts for 3 days, so you're really going to have to hustle. They're really kind of putting you to the test on how bad do you want that EX Cube. And let me check one thing here. I still have my 2 booster tickets, so we will pop those open before we wrap up today's video. We are looking for Mewtwo Y, maybe a Nihilego. Do I even want or need chain levels for Nihilego? I don't know. Most likely just get a couple of uncommons. We get a Gothita, NBD right there, and then we're going to get one more free pull. I actually don't mind whatever it is I get out of these. These are free booster tickets for like 10 points or whatever it was, 100 points, whatever the thresholds are super low. We're going to start off with at least a rare. Looks like it's going to stay as a rare. And the game is trolling me right now. But that is going to wrap up this Friday installment of Poke Fodder. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Let me know in the comments below. There's a couple things I want to know. Did you find anything else that got reset? And what team are you? That's what I want to know heading into this fantastic Friday, this fantastic weekend. So, earn your points, and until next time.